and chase that check for days. Let cash accumulate over days and chase that check for days. Let cash accumulate over days and chase that check for days. Let cash accumulate over days and chase that check for days. Chase that check. I gotta get that money. I gotta chase that check. But you ain't got no spend, and you ain't chase no check. Then you ain't get no money, then you ain't got no tech. And I can bleed it, and I can trust it, and I can bleed what I wanna do, I want it. And I can bleed what I wanna do, I love it. They hating on me in public, I love it. But I be chasing money, and I be chasing honeys, and that's my fucking problem. I'm a fucking dummy, but I'm a curse one, and that's one day, honey. And you gon' get that one day when I'm done chasing money. Cash accumulate over days, and chase that check for days. Let cash accumulate over days, and chase that check for days. Let cash accumulate over days, and chase that check for days. Let cash accumulate over days, and chase that check for days. Let cash accumulate over days, and chase that check for days. Let cash accumulate over days, and chase that check over days. Chase that check. Yeah, chase that check. I had a moment of silence, cause I be chasing that check. And this shit so crazy, I don't even stress. Yeah, the bitch left, but they ain't the first time she left. It's like a boomerang, she come bouncing back, just like on the dick. Yeah, she do a spin, yeah, she do those spins. Yeah, she spin on that tin, yeah, but I'ma stay on point. I gotta get that money, just like my joints. They spread out, and I flop my wings. If I was a bird, I'd be a wing. Yeah, you get it? Yeah, that's first class shit. First class, you don't even know what I'm talking about. Bitch, I'm the pilot lit. I'm the pilot lit. Business owner. I represent. I'm from the fold. Everybody throw up that shit. Let cash accumulate over days. And chase that check for days. Let cash accumulate over days. And chase that check for days. Let cash accumulate over days. And chase that check for days. Let cash accumulate over days. And chase that check for days. Let cash accumulate over days. And chase that check for days. Let cash accumulate over days. And chase that check for days. Let cash accumulate over days. And chase that check for days. Let cash accumulate over days. And chase that check for days.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Good evening, good night. It's really late here. It's 10:41 p.m. So we not gonna hold y'all up here. I'm not gonna hold y'all up. We're gonna just get straight into the action here. We're gonna go over what we've been going over here all week. This will be the last recap for the week of this week. And we'll be back with another recap on Sunday night. And that recap will be based on what happened over the weekend and what will happen tomorrow. What will happen tomorrow and over the weekend, and what's going to happen coming into next week as well, earnings and all that stuff. So we'll have another recap on Sunday night. This will be the last one for the week of this week here, and it's been a wild, exhausting week, man. I'm telling you, it's been the market kind of just really been barely moving, and today we finally. It's been a company, earnings season kicked off, and it's been a company that, actually kicked earnings season off this week, and it was Tesla. So Tesla is the stock of the week, earnings play of the week this week. They moved the most as of right now to the downside. As far as to the upside, there was another stock that did move really big. Lam Research, they went up about $35 on their earnings report, and they reported today. Was that today after hours? Yeah, I think that was today after hours. But we'll go over everything here shortly, the charts and the numbers. But yeah, like I said, I ain't gonna hold y'all. But I do want to just make sure that it happened. Yeah, Lam Research. Yeah, Lam Research reported earnings yesterday after the close like Tesla did, but they actually went up and held. So that was the biggest positive earnings this week. Lam Research, ticker symbol money dollar sign, a dollar sign symbol, LRCX. That's Lam Research, and like I said, they reported a positive earnings beat. LRCX right there, and Tesla, like I said, that was the biggest downer this week. And Tesla's more and more so of in the area, in the range of being compared to with Netflix, Apple, and all that, etc., Google. So that's obviously had a bigger effect to the downside today on the overall market, because those companies kind of correlate together and work together in many ways. But that's pretty much what happened today. So let's go. Like I said, I ain't gonna hold y'all. Let's go ahead and get into what we need to get into. Let's see here. Before we go any further, you already know. Let's get into the description first. I ain't gonna hold y'all. One little second, dude. It's loading. Is loading. This is recap coverage from the stock and crypto market. These are live ideas of thought and studies. This is not financial advice on this stream or with this company. With that being said, we're going to recap the SPY, QQQs, IWM, DIA, VIX, Netflix, Tesla, Apple, JP Morgan, Google. Let's go ahead and get into it. So, NASDAQ closes lower Thursday, dragged by Tesla shares. The NASDAQ composite slipped 0.8% to settle at 12,059.56. The Dow Jones Industrial Average lost 110.39 points, or 0.33%, to close at 33,786.62, while the S&P 500 dropped 0.6% to finish at 4,129.79. So really the market, kind of still barely moving on us. They're still hitting us with the barely movements on us right now. That's just kind of what we've been getting. And it's one of those respecting things. Like, the market is barely moving, and it's a thing where you gotta respect it right now, because it ain't really too much you can do. If the market is barely moving at the rate it is moving, you guys. Let me fix my microphone here. But yeah, at the rate that it has been moving, a little, slow, and basically consolidating and credit spread in the market basically hasn't really been doing too much. But it did kind of slip up today. It did go down, and like I said, that was due to, as Wall Street said, that was due to Tesla. Really, it dragged the market down, you guys. Like I said, it has a big piece. Elon Musk has a big piece of the puzzle to the market, considering who he is, and the CEO of the company of Tesla. So that's pretty much what happened today. Key things to be known tomorrow. Top 5 things this week. We done really got through everything so far. Now let's just be looking at the PMI services surveys data that comes out tomorrow morning. Looks like in the Eurozone, you got data coming out at 4 a.m. So this will all be key tomorrow morning. And 4:30 a.m. you got the United Kingdom, the S&P Global, CIPS UK manufacturing PMI data. That's going to be key. And the United States is hitting you with services PMI, manufacturing PMI, composite PMI, all tomorrow morning during the market hours. So like the first 15 minutes, you'll see a move in the market there after the next 15. So just be on the lookout for that. And I think, like I said, that's just really going to be key to the market moving the way it needs to move. And like I said, going into tomorrow expiration is going to be very, very big. So things to be looking out for tomorrow is really that. Services PMI, manufacturing PMI data. That's key. Earnings tomorrow. You got Procter & Gamble in the morning before the open, and it looks like you got a bank reporting SLB, so FCX and all that reports tomorrow. And yeah, that's just what it is right now. So FCX and SLB. PG. Okay, yeah, that's all reports tomorrow. So we'll be looking out for that tomorrow. But this week is pretty much ended up, wrapping up. As you can see, all the data has really came out. Tesla moved the market, like I said, it moved the market to where it needed to be. Um, and then that's just where we're at right now, you guys. So let's go ahead and get into the charts and numbers. I do apologize. I'm getting a phone call right now. My bad. So sorry, but let's go ahead and get straight into the charts and numbers. I ain't gonna hold y'all. Let's get dive right into it. So what happened at the SPY today? From the 1 day perspective, okay. So from the 1 day perspective, it looks like okay. Looks like the SPY gap down, so it did gap down from the 1 day perspective. The SPY gap down. With that gap down, you've seen it's just been playing this game where if things gap down, investors tend to buy it up. If things gap up, investors tend to sell it off. So it's really just still doing that. I see, and since it did gap down, it did consolidate. Uh, Here 413 was a high of the day, 413.67. And from that point, that was your actual high of the day. And then from that point on, you just got straight selling pressure towards the end of the day today, due to like Tesla and everything else, the overall market. It was a healthy pullback. It sold right into support right there at 410.32. And it bounced right off of it, and it did bounce right off support 410.32. It's showing strong support. It's showing very, very, very strong support. To the point where it bounced right back quickly to 411.87. So that's where it closed right there. So looking at going into tomorrow, looking at the levels here, seeing that the SPY did hold support still is what 410. As I told you guys, I've been telling you that 410 is either it's a real support or it's a fake support. And as of right now, it's indicating as a real support, but this could be a fake support if this doesn't push higher tomorrow. So that's what we're looking at here closely now, going into tomorrow and next week, and really pretty much next month. To the upside though, tomorrow I am looking at the SPY. If it can hold this level, it must break back above 413. If you can get above 413, it needs to retest 414.50 on the SPY to the upside. I think that would be max pain for the bears on the Friday. To the downside, I'm looking at this 410 level closely. If it doesn't hold, you guys, I am definitely looking at 410 not to hold. If it doesn't hold, then I'm looking at this area right here at 409 to 408.50, being a possible back test bottom there. We have to look from the 1 month perspective at that point, if that is the case. So we'll be looking over here at this area. Could be possibly matching out, maybe even matching out that 407 there. We got that low at the beginning of April. So, we'll be seeing there. That's the levels though to the up and downside on the SPY. I'm looking out for tomorrow. DIA, the DIA, we're going to move quickly here to DIA. So, they're at 337. They pretty much still in the channel here, just still consolidating. Not too much movement really with them. Pushed up there. If it could push up there, 338.80 would be a resistance to break. So if you can get above that, I'm looking for just 340. Just pin it back to 340 DIA. That's the upside. I'm looking forward to the downside. If this 336.86 doesn't hold, I'm looking for a retest all the way back down to 335.40 on the DIA to the downside. Triple Qs. And like I said, the market did pull back here today, and it's just at a level now where it could just it had put in the top, and and we don't know that, but it's signaling that the market could have put in a recent a possible new top here, just in the past month or so, and we could just be bringing this thing back down. The market could just be coming back down, getting back down to below the level where the top was at, and that just looked like that's what's ended up happening. It looks like the market is definitely reaching a topping point, and it's just wanting to come down and possibly retest the top again. But we don't know if it even will this time. But, you know, it might be time for a pullback going into the spring and the summer. It's just something to be thinking about, considering that these earnings are already reported, some of these names, but there's plenty more earnings coming out next week that would be good. So can't really jump the gun yet. But, you know, at the end of the day, it does look like, you know, the market is getting exhausted here, and it may not want to go back up anymore. But if it does go back up, and, you know, we are looking at it because the Bulls have, you know, they call it the Bulls termites right now. They just keep coming back once you think they're gone, so they might push back up here. So to the upside tomorrow, I'm looking at 318.50. If that can hold, I'm looking at 320.50. You know, to the upside, I think that'll be a point where it will hurt the Bears for the week. That's the upside on the triple Qs. To the downside levels, I'm looking at 315. If that doesn't hold, the next level I'm looking for is 313 to the downside on the triple Qs. IWM, same area here. It's 177 close. So just looking for a push above to the upside. If they can do it, 178. And they still are owed at 180. You know, that's still a level where they still got to get to if they are going to push higher. That's just where they're going at this point. So looking at that 180 level, still closely on the IWM to the upside. To the downside, looking at 176. If that doesn't hold, I'm looking at 175 on the IWM to the downside. VIX, the VIX volatility speed of the market. Okay. All right. So VIX, that's where we're at. Sorry, you guys. VIX. All right. So looks is where we're at. They did hit $17.70. Got rejected right there, closed at $17.16. So looks like the fear still is kind of leaving the market. It did spike today. We did get a little spike back up. That's why you saw a little bit of selling pressure. And then Tesla earnings was all horrible. So that's why you definitely saw the VIX spike back up. That was due to a lot of fear too. But you know, at the end of the day, you know, the VIX can obviously continue to spike, make these highs. You know, and if they do that, continue to make these spikes, you'll continue to see the stocks pull back decently. I think, you know, if you get a spike back up here in this level up here in this area, I think you'll see way more selling than you already have been getting. So I'm looking at the $20 level closely on the VIX, you know, to see if we get a spike back above to 20 or above 20. To 20 or above 20, it's high regardless. So expect to pull back if you do see that. That's the upside levels I'm looking at for on the VIX. If not, you know, to the downside, and you know, if that doesn't happen, I'm expecting the stocks to continue to, you know, find consolidation where it's at, where the market is at right now currently, and it'll go higher from where it's at. If the VIX continue to push down like this, so you know, to the downside levels, I'm looking at tomorrow. If the VIX try to go back down and retest $16 and about 80 cents, I'm expecting the rebound tomorrow, a slight rebound. And if they even keep going down even lower at about $16.40 over here, then I'm expecting you might get a retest at the highs going into Friday close on the VIX. You know, in the overall market. Netflix, 325 on Netflix close. So you know um they got a little bit. They got right. They fed the dinosaur. That's what they did. Netflix fed the dinosaur. They fed him. You know, he needed one more bite to eat, and he got it with Netflix. And you know that killed a lot of premium and a lot of really a lot of premium today on both sides. Kind of really to the downside. All puts were wiped after that move to the upside today on Netflix. But you know, I think puts are not wiped here for good on Netflix. I think you still have a chance with the puts. I think with their earnings move, with this no volume earnings here, this drop all the way here to what's that, 295. We went from 339 to 295. That steep drop right there with no volume on that candle. I really think eventually you will see some volume come in back into this candle here with time. You know, you want to look about 3 months out on this play type thing to look into the next earnings coming up. I think you will have a move in the next 3 months on Netflix for sure. If they're gonna like retest this candle right here, or you know, or they're gonna just push higher back to 340. You know, they're right here at 325, so they can really still go either way. You know, they just really didn't want to pay out. They kind of just screwed investors over. You know, they just didn't want to pay out their options on their earnings report this quarter. Obviously, you know, that would have been a huge payment for everybody if it would have stayed down to 295. But you know, I just think the market didn't want to pay it out, and it was just a reason for them personally that they didn't want to pay it out to the entire globe. So it'll be okay at the end of the day. I think over time they're going to give it back. They have to by law. You know, they can't just this right here is scam basically. But you know, things like this can happen on earnings. But you know, people call this a scam when you got so much volatility like this in after hours, and then the open market, you don't see that at all. So you know, people call that scam. But at the end of the day, like I said, I think patience with Tom. They're going to retest that move, you guys, or you know, like I said, they're just going to push above this channel at this point with Tom on Netflix. So the levels I'm looking out for tomorrow, next week, going into next month. You know, I'm just looking for, if this 325 holds, I'm just looking for a pushback to 330. If you can get back above that, right back to where the earnings mess started, 334. You know, 335 was a key level. That's right before the earnings report. So, you know, that'll be a key level for them. I'm looking out for on Netflix to get back to the highs, 335. To the downside, I'm just really looking at, you know, 320 was showing strong support there, and it was acting really, really weak. So, you know, they would need to break below 323, but then 320 is the next level I'm looking out for. If that doesn't hold, then on Netflix, I am looking at that. It was a 316 level in the open market that they did play there just for a little tiny bit. So those would be the new low levels that I'm looking at on Netflix to the downside. Tesla, the animal, the beast of the market mover, the non-capper, you know, the non-scammer. Tesla really gave it up, you know, for their earnings report. And you know, they apparently it's just a lot. It's a lot of data with Tesla right here saying, you know, they're eyeing the market share versus the profits trade offs. They're saying, you know, it's weak, and this is a soft. They're soft. They've been soft lately, and it's just been a lot of bad news. And you know, they said they were going to do something about. They're trying to lower costs. You know, and they're still no Cybertruck. Still delayed on that. People still currently are, you know, running out of patience with wanting that, getting that truck on the road, getting that Cybertruck out here. But you know, it was just a bad overall report. Elon really had nothing to even really say that he did or you know, positive with Tesla in the past 3 months to you know, make a change. So it just may be time for Tesla to just come down so people can, you know, really think about if they want to keep trying to push this stock higher, or is Tesla looking like it's becoming the new Ford? Like, you know, does it need to just be priced with those level of vehicles at this point, because it's starting to seem very overpriced and out of range for the same models, and things blowing up and things not even being invented, but you got people paying for it and they ain't even getting it. So it's a lot of, like I said, a lot of bad news with Tesla right now. I just think right now everybody just wants out of it and just want to get back to the sidelines and get neutral with it. Nobody wants to be holding a falling knife. Nobody wants to try to catch a falling knife with Tesla right now, and that's just kind of what you got. But Tesla stock confirms bearish double top in other chart patterns. So, you know, it's been a double top. It's been a bearish pattern for a while, and this is pretty much what they're saying here. Double top here. You got one top over here, and then it kind of right there split and made another top right there. And then, you know, it just kind of just gave it all up here today with this up here. So that double top was like signaling that it was over here near the right shoulder, basically. And it did come down. So that's just kind of what you got there. But yeah, like I said, Tesla, just a lot of bad news with it, man. Elon ain't really providing what he needs to provide for it. But like I said, at the end of the day, be cautious with Tesla, because at the end of the day, you never know. People, there is a group of people out here in the world they do love EV, and you don't know what you're dealing with when you're going against them. So they could keep it leveled. I wouldn't say they could push it back higher, but they could keep it at a consolidated level if they needed to for the time being. But if not, if you continue to see people want out and the fear grows even more tomorrow, you'll see this thing come down even lower tomorrow, at least another $5 to $10. You see more than that tomorrow. It's gonna really get volatile over there if you see more than that. But I'm assuming they can give up at least another $5 to $10. Everybody's saying about $20. It's another gap fill at 143, but you want to be really looking at the charts and numbers and understanding how to read it. And so I'm looking at just really being simple and what I know they can in reality do by tomorrow, maybe next week, and that's $5 to $10 for sure. So that's what I'm looking at right now. But we'll see. They definitely sold off bad here for their earnings report. They closed at 183, and we're there at 163. So they lost about $20, and they were down about $23 at one point today in the market. They were down at 160. So Tesla, like I said, sold off really, really bad today. That's just what it is right now. And they're talking Tesla trying to say they're sounding out for the recession alarm. They're preparing for that as well. So all of that is key, right now, looking at how, if that's what they're wanting to report and that's the game they're playing, then, investors just got right out immediately, if that's what they're going to do. If it doesn't look like you're getting back to the year-to-date highs here, which is 210 or 218, then, you see that's right here. That's why they did that right there. So the same way you got a gap up over here, you kind of got you a gap down now. So it's like, which way are you going now? Is this gap down going to lead into this gap over here? Or, is this gap down going to just bounce back up here and consolidate over time, just throughout time? So that's just what we're looking at now on Tesla right now. This is, I still would give it the 3-day rule. This is their earnings report. This would be what, the second, third day. Tomorrow will be the third day. So about a 3-day rule, I would say it'd be probably safe to buy in, maybe see what's going on next week with them. I would still say it's going to be very volatile tomorrow. I think, it's limits to the highs, but I think it's unlimited to the lows right now in Tesla. So it's just something to be cautious about and just be, understand what's going on. The levels I'm looking out for tomorrow, though, if to the upside, 163 holds. I'm looking for a pushback to 167.50. If you can get there, maybe possibly you can get to 170, possibly to the upside. But I think that may be weak from that point on. If so, I think it'll consolidate from there. I don't see any more upside. But to the downside, I'm looking at if this 163 doesn't hold, it already hit 160, so I'm looking for a retest of that 160, and if that doesn't hold, I'm looking for back test possibly at 157 to 155, you guys, to the downside on Tesla. So them the levels I'm looking out for tomorrow, by next week, in the next month, whenever. That's what I'm looking at there. Apple. Oh, Apple closed right here, 166.98. So TSMC did report a good earnings, so Apple did hold up their gains. They didn't push higher, but they held up and stayed high. So to the upside tomorrow, I'm looking out for 167.80 retest. If you can get above that, I'm looking for 168.80 next to the upside on Apple. To the downside, I'm looking at 166.20 not to hold. If that doesn't, 165.60 and 165 even to the downside. JP Morgan 140 is still resistance support right here. Confused, doesn't know which way it wants to go. It's right here at 140. So if 140 looks like it's about to burst up there and get to 140.90, I'm looking at 141 to the next level, 141.40 retest there to the next level to the upside. To the downside, if this 140 is looking like resistance and this is your top, I'm looking at a flush to 140 even, and if that doesn't hold, the next level I'm looking at is 139.70 to the downside. Google, last one, Google 105.52 here close, so I'm looking for a push to 106.50 tomorrow. and 107 to the upside. They got earnings next week. Remember that Google has got earnings. This could have been a pre-earnings move here today. It possibly could continue tomorrow. We'll see if the market is green, but that's the levels to the upside. To the downside, I'm looking at 105 and 104.50 there. If that doesn't hold, I'm looking for a retest back to that 103.50 area where they literally just was. And that's pretty much it right there, you guys. That's good. That's all the stocks. That's what we're going over. That's what we're going over. That's all the stocks right there. Bitcoin still below 30,000. So they still stiffened up. They stiffened up and they got hit from that little hearing there with the SEC with the Federal Reservemen there. They had a little hearing this week. So Bitcoin still stiffened up right there. It's at a low 28K. Not looking good right now. Looking very, very weak. So it looks like they left that bear alone at 30K. They're not even playing with it anymore. That bear won that battle right there. So we'll see if you try to retest and play with that bear, or it's going to come back to the 25K level next on Bitcoin. That's what it could possibly be doing. It's either going to 32,000 or 25K next. Ethereum levels I'm looking at right here is still same thing as Bitcoin, is still stiffened up there. It's not looking like it's wanting to retest 2K on Ethereum. So, that's the levels I'm looking out for right there now. If you can push back above that and get to 2K, that would be nice. But the next level to the downside, I'm looking for a retest back on Ethereum, at least 1,700. I might get in there at 1,700 on Ethereum if you can come back down a little bit more. But we'll see. Gold is looking all right now. It's a little down. Silver is a little green. Oil went down even further. So, like I said, the prices should be easing up sooner or later. You guys be on the lookout for that. And the oil stocks, they should be red as well, as if oil is going to continue to pull back like this. So we're really back to the normal before they had made that tremendous gap up. We're right back. We're getting into that. We're getting into the channel now. We're halfway almost filled. We've got about $2 left to fill, and we'll be right back where we started before oil did try to gap up and raise the oil prices. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye out on the oil stocks and your local pumps, you guys. Things should be coming down if it's keep coming down this way. So be on the lookout for that. But that's pretty much it. Like I said, let's go ahead and get an update on the investor sentiment. Oh, we got an update. So it's 27.2%. Bullish. Investors still think the market is going up. 27.2% think this. The market is still bullish, and they think the market is still going up here in the next 6 months. And neutral, meaning they don't care which way the market goes, can go up or down. They're just trying to get paid. They just want their money on the sidelines. They're just neutral about things. They're not a bull. They're not a bear. 37.7% is neutral, you guys. They think the market is just really going to probably kind of steady out in the next 6 months. Maybe consolidate and be right back where it's at right now in the next 6 months. That's what they're thinking right now. That's what they're saying. It's neutral. They're neutral on things. That's what they think. So neutral is actually winning too this week on the voting sentiment. So 35.1% is still bearish on the market and think it's going down though in the next 6 months. So that's still pretty high and really close to neutral. So we could be reaching the topping point here, you guys. The market might be due for a pullback looking at this voting system, but we don't know. We don't really see. The voters could be wrong. The factor, the meter over here, where we're at. We're in neutral. We're in the neutral. We're right in the middle here. We were greedy. The market was being greedy, but now it's kind of getting back neutral right now. So we'll know. We'll see. The overall market is neutral right now. That's the winning indicator. So we'll see. But like I said, man, I ain't gonna hold y'all. I'll see y'all Sunday night with a brand new recap, fresh recap. And that's pretty much it, man. Them the levels to be looking out for tomorrow stocks. And I'll see y'all next week, man. I'll see y'all Sunday night. And we'll be getting into it. Remember, earnings coming out again next week. More earnings next week. I could sneak peek and show y'all real quick. Give y'all a quick little flash on earnings next week. Real quick before we end it here. Let's see. So Monday is, today is, okay, Monday is the 24th, right? right? So you got 52 companies reporting on Monday. You got 112. I ain't even gonna look. We ain't gonna look through them. I'm gonna just skim through them. I'm gonna just let you know how many companies are reporting on each day. And like I said, we'll have the actual list pulled up on Sunday at the recap. And you know, my clients, I'll get that information out to y'all Saturday, Sunday, one of them days. So just be on the lookout for it. But 52 companies reporting Monday, 112 companies reporting Tuesday, 213 companies reporting Wednesday, 255 companies reporting Thursday, and 39 companies reporting Friday. You guys, so the earnings season is going to continue. The earnings turmoil, the action pack, the environment is going to continue, you guys. It's still coming next week. You see all these companies reporting. So these will be some names here. I'm just skimming through. I do see Microsoft being one skim through name, Meta. You got Boeing, and it's plenty more. Twitter, Snap. Looks like you got gas stocks. Gas stocks report next week too. Chevron, XCOM Mobile. A lot of gas stop Amazon. So we'll be seeing a lot of companies report next week. UPS, Coca-Cola, eBay, Pepsi, all that report next week. Whirlpool. So these are going to be very important companies again next week, you guys. So stay on your P's and Q's. But that's pretty much it, though. Like I said, we'll have all the information out ready to report on Sunday night. Y'all stay tuned to the recap, and we'll be back on Sunday. I hope y'all have a good trading, investing day tomorrow and have a great, wonderful weekend. Y'all be safe out there, man. Hold it down. This was the recap of the spot. Triple Q's, IWM, DIA, VIX, Netflix, Tesla, Apple, JP Morgan, Google went LCAOD this week. I hope y'all enjoyed the recap this week. I hope y'all are learning something. I hope y'all are earning something. I hope y'all know LCAOD is not just guessing. And I hope y'all understand that LCAOD is matching you up with what the market is actually doing. I'm trying to get you guys to understand how this market works and how investing works, you guys. I want you guys to learn and be profitable more than me, and for the future and for your future. And you know, I just think that's what it's gonna be. See y'all Sunday, man. Happy 420. Peace. LCAOD.